violence can happen to anyone of any age, race, gender, sexual orientation, or religion. Domestic violence is often associated to the violence against women, but we also need to keep in mind that happens to men as well. Domestic violence is often associated with women, normal women, women next door, women down the road, women in the next state, next county, everywhere. The other truth is that this ugly abuse happens to the most beautiful people, from the inside and out. Domestic violence is a form of control and dominance forced onto the other person in an intimate relationship. Violence, intimidation, threats, mental and physical domination is what the attacker uses to control and to manipulate his victim. Looking around, I see a couple familiar faces, people who I know have went through some of the same situations as this. 1 in 4 women have been or will be in an abusive relationship or know someone who has been or will be sometime in their lives, whether it be physical or psychological. Most situations go unreported, or the women never tell anyone. They'd rather suffer in silence than to tell their friends or family and get people involved. Domestic violence is not just about the punches or counting the bruises, but it's the words that hurt the most. Physical scars can heal and may go away completely after a while. But emotional scars, they never heal, and they last forever. Family dysfunction, lack of communication, finances, stress, and economic hardship are all associated with the causes of domestic violence, but they are not the reasons why, or nearly are the causes for why domestic violence occurs. The abuser thrives on the feeling of being dominant and in control of the macho feeling. No matter what the abuser uses as an excuse, there is no reason to physically or emotionally hurt the people who are supposed to love him. Women who leave their abusers are at a 75% greater risk of being murdered by their abuser than the women who stay. It happens more than we realize, even in a small place like Champion.
Yes, even in middle-class Champion, Ohio. Hi, my name is Michele Smith-Scott. My family has lived here for almost 50 years. On Sweetest Day, October 21st, 2006, my family became one of the statistics, one of the families affected by domestic violence. My baby sister Pam had met a man from Sharon, PA, a man named Alan. They soon fell in love. He had 5 kids. She fell in love with his kids. They moved in together, and she lived with him for several years. We loved him. We thought he was great. He was a NASCAR watching, beer drinking redneck. Perfect for her. She was one that was never able to have children, had had surgeries at a young age. And I had told her at the time, you're going to meet somebody that has 6 kids, and you're going to fall in love. And this was the perfect solution. She had met this man. She had 5 kids, and she loved his children. But as the months went by, things started to change. It got a little strange. We heard less and less from my sister. She didn't come around so often, and when she did come around, he never came with her. He always had an excuse. He had to work, or he had too much to do at home. And I remember one Thanksgiving, him not coming, and her saying, well, his back hurt. I told my mom afterwards, I said, this is strange, something's going on here. He is acting like a man that has something that he's not proud of. I don't understand. Several conversations my mom and I had, just not understanding what the change was. Meanwhile, my sister was changing too. She had gone from a beautiful young lady to someone who pulled her hair back, never put any makeup on, threw sweat clothes on. She just didn't look like my sister anymore. And she wasn't keeping in touch, which was the biggest thing. And I personally had gotten a hard heart. I thought, she's not calling me, I'm not calling her. If that's the way she wants us to be, then that's how it will be. When I did talk to her, I would say, you need to get out of there. You know, you're turning into a babysitter for his kids. He works afternoon turn, you know, he sleeps all day. You take care of his kids all night, you feed him dinner. He goes to the bar after work, and there you are. You need to get out. So, of course, our communication got fewer and fewer. She pretty much didn't want to hear what I had to say. In August of 2006, she finally had had enough. She moved back in with my parents. He and his kids did some hard press sell to her, several phone calls a day, trying to get her to come back, showing up at her work, showing up at doctor's appointments. He always seemed to know where she was or where she was going to be. And red roses on her car. Every couple days there were red roses on her car. Somehow he always had an eye on her. And for as hurt as she was, or as much pain as I was watching her go through for this sort of thing, I felt good. I was finally starting to reconnect with my sister. I was starting to see little glimpses of the former Pam starting to come back, where she started taking care of herself. She started doing her makeup again, and she started looking nice again and started to take care of herself. The big problem was, for as much as he was putting her down, she was starting to believe it. She was starting to believe that she had nothing to offer anyone. She was starting to believe that she was feeling less of herself. And he actually said to her once, "Who would ever want you?" And that's exactly how she had been feeling. Who would ever want me? I had 2 months to reconnect with my sister. My entire family went to Disney together. Brothers, sister-in-laws, children, parents. And it was awesome. Sorry. Then on sweetest day, October 21st, 2006, I got the phone call. Alan ran in the side door of my parents' house and yelled to them, "I just want to go talk to Pam." Ran down the steps into the bedroom where she was. She screamed. He fired 4 shots. 4 at her, and then 1 into his own ear. Alan died immediately in my parents' basement. My sister was life-flighted to St. E's, where she died 20 minutes after the helicopter landed. Those were the worst days of my life. But not until one of my friends actually used the word murder did it really hit me that he had murdered her. He loved her, but he had murdered her. So my takeaway to you is this. Get involved. I kind of sat back and watched and said, something's not right here. I don't want to ask any questions. I don't want to push her away. I don't want her not to talk to me even more than she already is. Sat on the outside and just kind of watched this weirdness happening. I didn't get involved. The story you're going to hear from Angell here in a little bit. I've known this family for 15 years. Thought something's not right here. Didn't get involved. Didn't ask any questions. This can't be solved unless people get involved to help. My other takeaway is this: if you are holding a grudge against any family member for any reason, get over it. Be the bigger person. Suck it up. If my sister would have passed away without that two months of reconnection, I don't know that I'd be standing here able to talk to you at all today about it. So these women, these men, they're suffering in silence. We need to give it a voice. We need to give domestic violence a voice. Angell's done a great part in that today. And like I said, ask questions and mend your fences. Thanks.
friend or a loved one could be a matter of life and death. And it's a very big deal. If this is happening in your own home, or a loved one's home, or a friend's home, or someone you could really care less about, but you know what's going on, you need to stand up and do what's right. How you approach the topic is very important. If you encourage and help the person, they will be stronger and more able to make better decisions. If they feel judged or criticized, they may never tell anyone about the abuse again. Seek attention even if they don't want you to. If you're in this incident and you live this nightmare every single day, it's never too late. But please act before it is too late. You never know when you may save the loved one's life. assistant. My mom was 8 months pregnant with my little brother. I was 8 years old, and Emily was 6. Tara wasn't born yet. If I wouldn't have stepped up and called the police, I don't know what kind of story I'd be telling you today. And that was not the first time, nor was the last time that it happened in my household. It was regular. It was like a routine. I kind of just thought that was what happened. I didn't know it was bad or it was wrong. Before this, I would just go in the next room and turn the TV on. And I'd turn it up really loud as I could possibly get it. Or I'd go up in my room and I'd color. And I would just color. But the old drywall and the creaky floorboards were never enough to drown out the sound. Because I could always hear what my dad was doing to my mom. I disowned that monster. And I will never have anything to deal with him. Ever. He is currently serving a maximum sentence in prison for abusing and attempting to kill another woman. He was arrested for felonious assault in that situation, and that's what he was tried and convicted with. Over all the years of him being in and out of prison, or just in and out of custody, he was never tried or convicted or anything on domestic violence. I strongly encourage that if this is happening in your home, don't ignore it. Don't go into the next room. Don't block it out. Stand up and do what's right, because that's how you show someone you truly love them. Thank you guys for coming.